What is up, ladder climbers? Antoine Wade here from Elevate to the Unknown and the Wade Report in nextgenheights.com. And it is Wednesday, November the 19th, 2025, 7 a.m. Central. And we are live on the Daily Climb. And right now this morning, 900,000 federal workers are waking up to something they haven't seen in 43 days. What is that? Money inside of their accounts. The back pay is hitting today. Type back pay if you know someone who is getting paid today. But here's the thing. While 900,000 federal employees are getting made whole, federal contractors are getting nothing, zero, not a single dollar. 65-year-old contractor interviewed by the CNBC. He lost 6 weeks of income during the longest government shutdown in United States history. And now, health insurance costs going up. No back pay coming ever. That's the two-tier system that's playing out right now this morning. But that's just what's happening today. Tonight, after the market closes, 4:20 p.m. Eastern, NVIDIA, they report earnings. Wall Street expects $54.9 billion in revenue, up 56% from last year. They are calling it a stress test for the entire AI market. I want you guys to type NVIDIA in the chat if you know tonight matters. But here's why this verdict matters to you. If NVIDIA crushes earnings, it proves the AI boom is real, which means more companies will invest billions into AI, which means more jobs get automated away. If NVIDIA misses earnings, it means the AI investment might slow down, but it also means the tech sector that creates the few high-paying jobs that is left is failing. It's a lose-lose for workers. Strong NVIDIA means more displacement. Weak NVIDIA means fewer opportunities. And tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, after 7 weeks of delay because of the government shutdown, the September jobs report finally drops. The forecast they have for the September job reports is 75,000 new jobs. That's anemic. For context, we need 150,000 jobs per month just to keep up with the population growth. 75,000 is half of that. Marcus is on day 3 of waiting for his negotiation response. Sent his counteroffer on Monday morning, 195,000 instead of 177. Still hasn't heard back. And here's the thing. Marcus is one of the lucky ones because college graduates right now are facing 9.3% unemployment. That's double the national rate of 4.3%. That's worse than the Great Recession. Recent grads are facing higher unemployment than 2008 and 2009. I want you guys to let that sink in. Type 9% if that's brutal. Type it in the chat. Okay? That is what I'm calling the verdict. So in the next 24 hours, multiple verdicts drop. Federal workers get their verdict, and they get it today, which is back pay, or contractors getting nothing, right? If you are an employee, you're getting some back pay, all kinds of money in your account. If you're a contractor, you get nothing. The AI boom gets its verdict tonight. NVIDIA earnings prove that it's real or it's not. The economy gets its verdict tomorrow. The jobs report shows recession or doesn't. College grads already got their verdict. 9.3% unemployment. Entry-level jobs are down 35 to 33%. Okay? And some people are saying 35 to 73%, depending on your field. And Marcus is still waiting for his verdict. Will they say yes to 195, or will they counter in the middle, or hold firm at 177? I want you guys to type verdict if you feel it. Type it in the chat. Today's show is about what these verdicts mean for you, what to watch for in NVIDIA's earnings tonight, what the federal back pay two-tier system reveals about who gets protected and who doesn't, what 9.3% college unemployment means for your entire entry-level job market. Okay. if you are in an entry-level space, what tomorrow's job report could trigger for recession fears, and what Marcus's wait teaches us about patience in negotiation. This is the Daily Climb. It's Wednesday, November 19th. The verdict is arriving. Let's see what it means for your future. Let's climb, guys. But before we do that, let's check who's all in the house. Good to see you, Topaz. Good to see you, Wayne Yu. Good to see you, the Life of Cam, sitting down there in Thailand. Good to see you, NC Worker. Good to see you, Prescott. Jason's in the house. Daniel Lugo's in the house. Good to see you. Oh, we are back with the crew today, man. I'm so excited that you guys are here with me this beautiful morning. Let's jump into it, okay? Let's jump into it. Let me start with what's happening right now this morning. 900,000 federal workers are getting paid today. And 43 days they went without paychecks. Ain't that something? 43 days they went without paychecks. They're getting all kinds of money today, big time money. Why did they go without paychecks? Well, it was because of the government shutdown. It was the longest government shutdown in United States history. Let me give you the timeline. October the 1st, the shutdown starts. October the 10th, first partial paycheck missing. October the 24th, first full paycheck missing. November the 1st, second paycheck missing. November the 12th, shutdown ends. 6 weeks of people working without pay or furloughed completely. And what did federal workers do during that time? Well, they cut spending. They ran up credit card debt. They took emergency loans. They filed for unemployment. While employed, found side jobs. Stood in the food bank lines. Skipped. They skipped their prescriptions, guys. Prescriptions cost too much, so they skipped it. One worker told the union the anxiety was devastating. That's what he said. That's what they said. So this morning, most federal agencies are processing what they're calling super checks. That's 43 days of back pay plus your normal November paycheck all at once. Some agencies started paying on Sunday, November the 16th. Oh, November 16th was not Sunday. It was Sunday, which was November the 16th was Sunday. God darn, my days are crazy. My days are crazy. These days are going by so fast. But most of them are paying today. And a few will pay by end of the week. But here's what's important. Federal employees are getting made whole. Every single dollar they were owed from October 1st through November the 1st, they are getting it back. I want you guys to type paid if that's some relief. Take a little bit of pressure off you. Getting your money in your pockets. But federal contractors, they are getting nothing. God dang. You're a federal contractor. Not so good. CNBC interviewed a 65-year-old. Okay, I want you guys to see this interview. A 65-year-old federal contractor lost 6 weeks of income. And here's the kicker. Not only is he not getting back pay, his health insurance costs are going up. So he lost income for 6 weeks and now has to pay more for insurance going forward. No recourse, no relief, nothing. I want you guys to type brutal in the chat if that sounds like that's brutal. 65-year-old, no money for 6 weeks, and now his insurance is going up. Brutal. Now, here's why this matters beyond just federal workers. This is the model for how the economy treats workers in crisis. If you are a protected worker, an employee with benefits, union backing, federal protections, you get made whole. If you are a contractor, a gig worker, a freelancer, or independent, you are on your own. The 43-day shutdown just proved that divide is real and growing. And here's the scary part. More and more of the economy is moving towards the contractor model, which is the model that I personally think that is going to be the model of the future. But companies don't want full-time employees anymore. They want flexibility, lower costs, no benefits, no back pay obligations. 70 million Americans are now in a gig economy. 36% of the workforce are doing contract work. When crisis hits, contractors are on their own, which is the same reason why you need to be putting money off to the side and diversifying yourself. $65-year-old, no pay because he was a federal contractor, and now his insurance is going up. 6 weeks? That's crazy, ain't it? Let me give you guys some numbers. The shutdown, it caused $11 to $14 billion in permanent economic damage. That's GDP growth that will never be recovered. New York State alone lost $1.2 billion per week. 5,500 flights were canceled. $8 billion in SNAP benefits to 42 recipients delayed. $2.5 billion in small business loans were blocked, affecting 4,800 businesses. In the labor market, the data that we need to make decisions and the data that is needed for the Fed to make decisions, gone. September jobs report is coming tomorrow after 7 weeks of delay. October job reports might not ever be released. Data is important. I want you guys to type data in the chat if you guys think it's important and if you see that it's a problem. So this morning, 900,000 federal employees are breathing a sign of relief. The back pay is hitting accounts. They can pay their bills finally. They can cover their rent finally. They can buy those groceries that they were missing. A lot of them lost weight. A lot of them had to lose weight because they couldn't afford the food. Now they can buy those groceries again. Now they can refill those prescriptions. A lot of them actually learned that they need to save money too right now. They learned that this is a bad situation to be in sometimes. But here's the thing. Federal contractors are waking up to nothing. And the rest of us are watching. Because this is the blueprint for how workers get treated when the system breaks. Protected employees get rescued. Contractors get workers or gig workers, freelancers, they get abandoned. And that divide is growing wider every single day, which is the reason why you should diversify yourself. I tell you that all the time. We're going to talk about a story of a young lady who's doing the exact thing that I've been telling you guys about. But that divide is growing wider every single day. Now that I showed you what happened today with the federal workers, let me show you what happens tonight with NVIDIA, because that verdict might be even bigger for your job security. I want to show you guys. Okay, stay with me on this segment. So federal workers, they're getting their verdict today, but the AI boom gets its verdict tonight. 4:20 p.m. Eastern, 3:20 our time. NVIDIA reports third quarter earnings, and Wall Street is calling it a stress test for the entire AI market. If you guys are tracking NVIDIA, put NVIDIA in the chat. Put it in the chat. Let me tell you why this matters to you. Even if you don't own any sort of NVIDIA stocks, you don't care about NVIDIA, you don't even know who they are. Because some of you probably don't even know who NVIDIA is. I hope you do if you're watching this channel. But even if you don't work in tech, know who they are, the earnings report will tell us whether the AI boom is real or hype. And that determines whether your job gets automated in the next 2 years. Let me explain this right now. Companies are spending hundreds of billions on AI. Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, they all are buying NVIDIA chips to build AI models to automate work. If NVIDIA reports $55 billion in revenue and it is up 56%, that proves that companies are going all in on AI, which means more investment in automation in the next 6 months, which means more jobs getting replaced. But if NVIDIA misses those numbers, if revenue comes in below $54 billion, That signals companies are slowing down their AI spending, which could mean fewer jobs are automated, but it also means the tech sector that creates high-paying jobs is weakening. That's what it means. So here's the brutal reality. Strong NVIDIA means more automation. Weak NVIDIA means fewer opportunities. It's a lose-lose for workers. Let me give you the numbers. Okay? And these numbers are going to be on what AI is already replacing. All right? The analysis of 180 million job postings shows medical scribes down 20% in 2025. That's AI directly replacing an entire job category. Entry-level coding jobs are down nearly 20% for developers aged 22 to 25. Companies are saying, why hire an undergraduate when AI is cheaper and quicker? And here's entry-level jobs by field. Marketing entry-level down 75.6%. HR and talent entry down 72.3%. Engineering entry-level down 72.2%. But machine learning engineers are up 11%. Robotics engineers are up 11%. Data center engineers are up 9%. See the pattern? Companies want people who build AI, not people AI replaces. That's the pattern. I want you guys to type build in the chat if you see it. And here's a scary projection. Dario Amato, a CEO of Anthropic, one of the most powerful AI companies in the world. He warned that AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs and spike unemployment to 10 to 20% in the next 1 to 5 years. That's what he said. I want you guys to type half in the chat if that's terrifying. Type it in the chat. In the next 1 to 5 years, that is insane. Now, let me show you what's happening right now. 7,000 jobs were cut in September 2025 due to AI implementation alone. Nearly 3 in 10 companies have already replaced workers with AI, and 37% expect to replace workers with AI by the end of 2026. That's next year. So we are not talking about some distant future. This is happening, and this is happening right now. Companies are openly citing AI as the reason for layoffs. Used to be they'd hide it, say something like restructuring or some corporate babble like market conditions. Now they're just saying we are replacing these roles with AI. The taboo is breaking. Type now if this is happening right now and you've seen this happen. Type it in the chat. So tonight, 4:20 p.m. Eastern, when NVIDIA reports, you want to watch for 3 things, okay? Number 1, the revenue number, is it above or below $54.9 billion? Above, it means AI spending is accelerating. Below, it means companies are pulling back. Give me your thoughts in the chat on what you think is going to be. The number 2, the guidance for next quarter. What does NVIDIA say that companies will spend in Q4? That tells us if this continues or it slows. Number 3, the CEO's commentary on the Blackwell chips. Blackwell is NVIDIA's next generation AI chip. CEO Jensen Huang said Blackwell orders already hit $500 billion. If he raises that number tonight, that means AI boom is accelerating even faster. Strong numbers tonight mean your employer will invest more in AI in 2026. Weak numbers means they might pull back. Either way, you need to know what's coming. I want you guys to type tonight if you're watching earnings. I'll be watching it. If I'm not watching it, it's because I'm on a call, but I'll be looking at it on my phone. I got an alert ready to send it to me if I can't get a chance to see it. Okay. Now, I want to share something with you about AI at work. All right. I got a chance to get up this morning and watch a little bit of Singapore news, and I was looking at AI at work. And I want to talk to you guys about what the Southeast Asia, and I think things are coming from the West before they get here in the United States, but I like to get my news sources from there as well, too. And here's a little bit of a Singapore news station talking about AI and its replacement on the workforce and how they're getting prepared for AI in the workforce. And I just want you guys to get a different perspective than what we are talking about in the United States. Hear this first, okay?
And the AI frenzy is not just shaking the markets, it is also reshaping how we work, raising fears of job losses, but also opening doors to new kinds of businesses. Well, at least that's what I gathered from the Singapore FinTech Festival. Here's my report. On the floor at one of the world's largest FinTech gatherings, the conversation has shifted from hype to hard choices. Which jobs change, which skills matter, and which guardrails are needed? Founders and operators here say that the winners will be those who learn to work with AI, not against it.
Recently, there's a joke like going around in the big tech industry whereby, it will be the plumbers, the people laying the bricks that will have the job, and the engineers that train the AI that will be jobless. I think it's true to some extent, and I think the ability to embrace AI for the knowledge workers is a very key critical aspect to stay competitive in the market.
What did he say? Said that there's a rumor going around that the people who are building the infrastructure for AI is going to be the ones with the jobs, and the ones who are coding the AI themselves are going to be the ones without a job. It's interesting that he's saying that because we've heard that before, right? And we've seen it actually happen. We've seen Meta use hire AI engineers, and next thing you know, they cut them. We've seen Tesla do the exact same thing. But what's keeping people employed and the people who are working and making a whole bunch of money right now are the people who are building those data centers, who are working inside those data centers. So what he's saying is pretty darn accurate. Let it continue on.
The same AI forces are now lowering the startup cost of businesses. Fireblock's Stephen Richardson says agentic AI can help SMEs get off the ground.
Yeah, I think we've seen lots of examples of people leveraging AI tooling to build platforms online, right? There have been examples of 2 or 3 people being able to leverage AI tooling to launch a website, create a chatbot, create AI agents that actually develop services and tools that people are buying today. Out of necessity breeds innovation in a lot of ways, right? So, the idea that someone will potentially be replaced by AI, but use AI to build their own business and create, value for society, I think that's a positive thing.
But in finance especially, no one is calling for autopilot. The message is clear. Humans set the rules, machines execute them.
So I think a lot of the agents will start coming up, making life simpler. It will enable more people to come into the financial industry because of these agents. But again, there still needs to be humans to guide these agents. Otherwise, it's going to go rogue, right?
Management of agents, people being able to get into the financial world, but they have to be able to manage agents. You hear the previous gentleman talking about how there's a huge amount of opportunity with AI, and people are able to build websites with chatbots to fulfill the needs of what the market needs right now. And they're making millions of dollars. We've talked about stories about that. So AI, it's here, guys. It's impacting everybody across the world. And I wanted to give you guys a perspective from the Singapore FinTech Festival, because I was listening to this and like, you know what, this would be a good opportunity for me to talk about the other parts of the world where AI is interrupting them as well too, and what their perspectives are. Okay. Now, before we keep going, if you're getting real intelligence from the Daily Climb, okay, make sure you hit the like button. Hit it right now. Subscribe to the channel if you are new to the Elevate to the Unknown YouTube channel. Subscribe if you are new. Ring the bell. Tomorrow we're going to break down the September Jobs Report, the second that it drops at 7:30 a.m. This is the Daily Climb, guys. We show you what's actually happening in the market, and we talk about it, and we give you solutions. Make sure you hit the like button. Keep climbing with us. Let's continue on, okay? Let me show you the verdict that's already happening. Or, matter of fact, let me show you the verdict that's already been delivered. Okay? Stay with me on this next segment. For college graduates, many of you guys have kids who are in college. Many of you guys are probably in college right now if you're watching this show. 9.3% unemployment for college graduates. It's worse than the Great Recession. Let me show you what's happening to the entire entry-level job market. That's what we're going to talk about next, okay? So we talked about federal workers. We talked about contractors not getting paid. We talked about federal workers getting all kinds of money today. So you know you got a federal worker who is in your family and they owe you some money. You know they got it today. Go and tap them on the shoulders. Tap them on the shoulder to get that money back. They got a large paycheck, quite a bit of thousands of dollars. Okay. We also talked about NVIDIA reporting tonight. Let me talk about the verdict that's already been delivered. College graduates, 9.3% unemployment. Ain't that something? I'm going to say it one more time, guys. College graduates ages 20 to 24 with a bachelor's degree, 9.3% unemployment. The national rate is 4.3%. That means recent grads are facing double the unemployment of everyone else. And it's worse than the Great Recession. I lived through the Great Recession. That was only 2008 and 2009. Okay. I was out of college in 2006, had a job, lived through it, survived it. In 2008, 2009, the economy crashed. The economy collapsed. Today's graduates are facing worse odds than that. I didn't think that it was going to get that bad. I didn't think that we could tell a story that these guys can tell a better story now in 10 years. I want you guys to type 9% if that's double what you guys experienced during your time in 2008, 2009. And here's the other number. 41% of recent grads are underemployed. So that means working jobs that don't require a college degree. So you spend 4 years and tens of thousands of dollars in a whole bunch of debt. And then you're working a job that didn't require, or you don't need that degree at all. That's brutal. Now, let me show you why this is happening, okay? I want to show you why. There's always a why this is happening. Entry-level jobs are disappearing faster than anyone expected. Entry-level postings are down 35% since January 2023. Entry-level hiring is down 73.4% on average. Tech entry level is down 50% compared to before the pandemic. And entry-level jobs are declining 3 times faster than other positions. Let me show you which fields are getting hit the hardest. Marketing, entry level, down 75.6%. HR and talent down 72.3%. Engineering entry level is down 72.2%. Product roles are down 69.8%. Finance in that industry, in the entry level area, it's down 63%. Data roles down 62.1%. That's a lot. Now, here's the reason. Companies are given, because you know they're going to give you the reasons, right? Here's a quote from a UC Berkeley computer science professor. Why hire an undergraduate when AI is cheaper and quicker? Let that sink in. Companies are saying out loud that AI can do what entry-level workers used to do for less money in less time. So why hire a 22-year-old with student debt and no experience when you can pay for ChatGPT or Claude or whatever AI tool that's out there that you need? But here's where it gets worse. Okay, because it does. You may not think it does. In San Francisco, over 80% of so-called entry-level jobs now require 2+ years of experience. Read that again. Entry level requiring 2 years of experience. That's not entry level. That's mid-level jobs at entry level pay. So how do you get experience when the jobs that build experience don't exist anymore? You can't. That's what it is. You can't get a job without experience. But you can't get experience without a job. It's a catch-22. And AI is eliminating the exact roles that used to train people. The entry-level jobs that taught professional skills to previous generations are gone. Type experience if you see the paradox. Type it in the chat. Let me tell you a real story. A Cornell student, recent graduate. She said unemployment is a full-time job. She applies every single day, hundreds of applications, get responses from less than 2%. Took nearly a year to land anything. And she's from Cornell, one of the best universities in the country. And here's what makes it even harder. The federal hiring freeze. One grad applied to 5 federal positions, including her dream job at the National Gallery, got an interview request, then Trump hiring freeze closed the job completely. And now federal workers with 10+ years of experience who got laid off are taking entry-level jobs for their stability. So a 22-year-old recent grad is competing against a 35-year-old with a decade of experience. Who do you think gets hired? God dang. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Who do you think gets hired? Let me know. Tell me who you think gets hired. The person with experience. Prescott said it right. Now here's what employers are saying about Generation Z. These are what employers are saying. 84% of hiring managers say high school students are not prepared for the workforce. 75% say recent Gen Z hires were unsatisfactory. 1 in 6 employers are hesitant to hire Gen Z at all. They're saying Gen Z values self-care, helping others, authentic expression. But employers want achievement, unbridled desire to work. And only 2% of Gen Z students share employer values. If you guys are Gen Z or you know somebody Gen Z, you got kids who are Gen Z, type Gen Z in the chat. But here's what nobody is saying. Gen Z, they didn't choose to be unprepared. The entry-level jobs that trained previous generations are gone. Baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, they all got entry-level jobs. that taught them how to work. I'm included. I got an entry-level job that taught me how to work. I had to show up every single day, get the job done. Taught me a lot. Best thing that happened to me in my career. It taught me how to show up. It teaches you how to show up on time, how to communicate professionally, how to solve problems at work. Those jobs don't exist anymore. Companies are training AI instead of training people. And then they are blaming Gen Z for being unprepared. Is that fair? To some people, that's not fair. Okay? But here's someone who turned it around. You got Brian, 22, computer science degree from Virginia State. He interned at Apple. Let me show you Brian. Let me get Brian up here real quick. Let me go back to Brian. This is Brian. 22 years old, went to Virginia State. He interned at Apple. $42 per hour. But when it came down to apply to full time, he chose not to. Not because he couldn't get the job, but because he said new grads can have a tougher time standing out at big tech. You're coming in at the bottom of the food chain. So he took a fintech role in New York where he can stand out. Brian, smart man. That's strategic thinking. That's not desperation. That's strategy. That's Brian. So here's the verdict for college grads. 9.3% unemployment, worse than the Great Recession. Entry-level jobs down 35 to 73%. Experience paradox, needs 2 years for entry-level. AI eliminating the training ground that built previous generations. Federal hiring freeze, pushing experienced workers into entry-level roles. And Gen Z getting blamed for a system that is absolutely broken. That's the verdict. That's already been delivered. But we got my man Brian here, crushing it. What's Brian's last name? Brian Chuck Wishishoa. I can't even say his last name, but he's 22, is a senior at Virginia State University who previously interned at Apple. Brian be on his stuff. Look at this man. I like Brian. But real quick, if you want the complete entry-level job search playbook, okay, check out our Patreon. If you want to know how to position yourself when you're competing against people with tens of years of experience for roles, check out the Patreon. Join the Heights on Patreon. Patreon.com/Black Heights. We don't just tell you, we teach you. We don't just talk about the stories. We share those stories with you and give you the exact playbook to execute. Link it to the description. Okay. So I already showed you the verdict for college grads that's already been delivered. Now let me show you the verdict coming tomorrow. September jobs report. After 7 weeks of delay, it will show you if we are headed towards a recession or not. Let me show you what to watch for. Okay. Just hang on with me for this segment. So tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 our time, the September jobs report finally drops after 7 weeks of delay because of the shutdown. Now here's what we are expecting. 75,000 new jobs for September, unemployment holding steady at 4.3%. Now, let me tell you why 75,000 is a problem. We need 150,000 jobs per month just to keep up with the population growth. 75,000 is half of what they need. That is called anemic. And here's the context. October 2025, 153,000 job cuts were announced. That's 175% increase from October of 2024, the highest October in over 20 years. We talked about that. In the year to date, 2025, 1.1 million layoffs. That's 5% increase from 2024. All right. And here's what the private sector is showing. The ADP report that typically comes out for October, only 42,000 new jobs. Manufacturing decline, information sector decline, professional services decline, leisure and hospitality decline. All growth came from large companies, 500 plus employees. Small and mid-sized companies decline. That's what the data looks like. Now, here's what Federal Reserve Governor Waller said on Sunday. The labor market is more fragile than the hard data indicated. I think that's true. People are feeling it. You can sense it. You can see it on the internet. It's inflated. He's saying it's worse than the numbers show. I agree with him. Continued unemployment claims are rising, taking longer to find jobs. Challenger Gray layoff announcements about 1 million in 2025, up 65%. Conference Board job availability, steady decline all year. In consumer sentiment, only 26.9% said jobs are plentiful, down from 30.2%. 19.1% said jobs are hard to get. Type fragile if the job market is breaking. Type it in the chat. So tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, if that September job number is below 75,000, guess what kind of fears they're going to be talking about in the news? Recession. Recession fears will explode. The market will sell off. The Fed rate, the cut that's supposed to be in December, becomes more likely. But right now, December rate cuts odds are only 42 to 43%. They don't know if it's going to happen. And that's down from 94% a month ago. So if the report beats 75,000 and shows 100,000 plus, the market breathes easier. Recession fears calm down just a little bit, but we still have a problem of 1 million layoffs this year. So here's what you need to know. Tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, the September jobs report is coming out. The forecast is 75,000. Watch if it beats or misses. If it misses badly, recession narrative is going to take hold, and we're going to be talking about a recession. Many of you guys already feel like you're already in a recession. I somewhat already feel like certain states are in a recession. I think somebody said that in the chat already. And that affects your job security in 2026. So I showed you the verdicts arriving. Federal workers today, NVIDIA tonight, job reports tomorrow. College grads already delivered. That's already happened. College grads are getting bamboozled. They're getting beat up all sides of the head. Now, let me show you what Marcus is doing, or what Marcus is going through right now, and what you need to do right now to position yourself for whatever these verdicts will reveal. Okay. Let's talk about Marcus. Marcus Thompson, 41 years old, Charlotte, North Carolina. He sent his counter offer on Monday morning, November the 17th, $195,000 base salary instead of the $177,000 they offered, with the 15% bonus. That is $224,000 total compensation instead of $203,000. Okay. $21,000 per year difference, $105,000 over 5 years. Today is day 3 of waiting. Still hasn't heard back. Matter of fact, he's supposed to be hearing back sometime this morning. All right. Now, here's what's important. This is normal for senior type roles, mid to senior roles. Companies need to debrief, check references, get approvals from multiple people. The silence doesn't mean no. It means they are processing it. And even if they do say no on the 195, he didn't lose anything. They won't rescind the offer because he asked professionally. The worst case, they meet in the middle. 186, still a win. 177 is still a win. We are negotiating just because of the fact that he wants to get more money, but he's not stressed about that. Okay. Patience. Patience is important. The waiting is the hard part. Type patience in the chat if waiting is hard. Waiting is hard. When I had to wait back for this channel to get back activated, it was hard. I wanted the days to go by fast. It's like, man, I can't wait to go live on the Elevate to the Unknown YouTube channel, but the YouTube channel was on strike, so I couldn't go live. I had to wait 14 days, and 14 days couldn't come fast enough. Now I'm here and we're rocking and rolling. Now let me show you what Marcus's style, his positioning looks like when it works. Okay? Story dropped on yesterday from the Business Insider. I want to show you guys something. This is what you call perfection. Business Insider story. Sandas Khalid, Google employee, Seattle, 30-something years old. Last year, she made $292,000 from her Google salary and $302,000 from her side hustle. Her side hustle is teaching people how to break into tech, and it made more than her Google salary. Pretty young lady, too. I want you guys to type side hustle, if that's powerful. She started at Amazon in 2013, making $77,000. Over 10 years, she grew her income 700%. And she grew that to $594,000 total last year. And here's her number one negotiation tip that Marcus used. Never give the first number in the salary negotiation. When recruiters ask for salary expectations, turn it back on them. What's the range for this role? If they give you an offer, don't say yes immediately. Ooh, woo. That's why you hired me, Marcus. That's why you hired me, man. What's the range for this role? If they don't give it to you, don't say yes immediately. Go to levels.fyi to research the market rates, then counter professionally in writing. Communicate the value you bring. That's what Marcus did, 195 instead of 177. And here's why side hustles matters now. Sundas, however you pronounce her name, she says this: having multiple income streams is now essential in 2025. If I were to lose my job, I have a plan to fall back on, which gives me a lot of mental peace. Tech companies started laying off people in 2023. She realized job security isn't real anymore. So she built multiple income streams. Type streams if you see why. Type it in the chat. Type streams in the chat. I want to see what you guys got to say about that. Let me show you what you need to do in the next 24 hours, okay? Got to give you guys a game plan here. I like game plans. 24 hours. Tonight, 4:20 p.m. Eastern. Watch the NVIDIA earnings. If you don't watch it, just make sure that you have a news alert. Pick it up after in the evening when you're done with the kids, putting the kids down to bed. The three numbers that you want to look for is revenue. Okay? That's what you want to look at in the NVIDIA earnings. Revenue versus 54.9 billion Q4 guidance, Blackwell chip orders. That's what you want to think about. Strong numbers mean more AI investment is coming. Got to assess your AI exposure. Weak numbers mean tech sector weakness, recession fears. That will trigger a spike in recession fears. Tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Watch the job reports, the September jobs report. Does it beat or miss? 75,000 forecast. If it misses badly, recession narrative takes hold. Understand how that affects your industry, your role. Right now, what do you do today? Number one, Assess your AI exposure. Are you in fields declining 62 to 76%, such as marketing, HR, engineering, data finance, entry-level roles? If yes, start positioning yourself to pivot. Number 2, audit your AI literacy. Can you use ChatGPT or Claude to enhance your productivity? If not, you should start today. Okay. And I'll talk about another article that dropped on Business Insider. Executives from LinkedIn, IBM, Cisco, they identified the 3 skills that AI cannot replace. Let's go to it. Here's the article right here. Skill number 1, problem solving. Not just solving problems, but identifying them, the right problems, creating effective prompts, determining best course of action. Skill 2, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, reading from the room, understanding when to lean in or step back. Here's a quote from the article. People who have these soft skills are going to do really well because that's something AI cannot do. Skill number 3, creativity, coming up with fresh ideas, thinking about where AI can be applied, redesigning your role. Type skills in the chat if you are developing these skills. I dropped a AI skills blueprint workbook in our Patreon last week. Fantastic workbook, skill book, and it's about these soft skills. And I actually also dropped the AI skills blueprint video. Check it out on the Elevate 10 Unknown YouTube channel. Okay. Type skills if you are developing any of these. I want to know. Now, number 3, build an emergency fund. Long-term unemployment is 23.7 weeks, which is almost 6 months. You need a cushion. Number 4, network intentionally. 85% of jobs are never posted online. Informational interviews, industry events, alumni connections. Number 5, update your LinkedIn and resume and do it today. Even if you're not searching, just do it right now, because when these verdicts drop tonight, tomorrow, next week, you need to be ready to move fast. Now, here's the thing. If you want the skills blueprint, the AI skills blueprint, go ahead and check out the Patreon, www.heights or patreon.com/Black Heights. Check it out. Join us at the Heights. You get the complete framework, strategies, templates, all that. I dropped it last week. I got something coming out this week too, as well too. I'm dropping a burnout blueprint that you need to consider, because if you're working hard and you feel in a certain way, you may be close to burnout. But if you're working hard and you're not feeling a certain way and you think you should be doing more, then maybe you need to be working more. It's that simple. This young lady who we talked about, Sundas, you think she worried about burnout? No, she worked at Google and she did her full-time job and she worked and started building her content creation stuff. Think I care about burnout right now? No, I'm here every single morning on this live stream, getting to the money and giving you guys knowledge. My weekends are spent working and resting. I have a beautiful wife that allows me to do that. I have beautiful kids that I want to give the world to. But here's the thing. Join the Patreon, www.patreon.com/Black Heights. If you want a community to support you. If you're tired of just figuring all this stuff out on your own, check out the Patreon, all right? And before we close, if you got real value from today's show, if you understand the verdicts arriving in the next 24 hours, if you're positioned to watch NVIDIA tonight and the jobs data tomorrow, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you do it right now. If you haven't hit the subscribe button on the Elevate 10 Unknown YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for the notification, because tomorrow we're going to be talking to you about the jobs report, and we're going to be doing it live. This is the Daily Climb, where we give you workforce intelligence, not just workforce anxiety. Okay? Guys, the Daily Climb, Antoine Wade here. Elevate to the unknown, nextgenheights.com, the Wade Report. Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. In the next 24 hours, multiple verdicts drop. Federal workers got paid today. 900,000 made whole, but contractors got nothing. NVIDIA reports tonight, 4:20 p.m. 54.9 billion is expected. Strong or weak, workers lose either way. The jobs report is coming out tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. 75,000 is expected. If it misses badly or recession fears explode, and we'll be talking about a recession for a long time, gonna cause all kinds of people to come into the content and listen up. You got college grads. They already got their verdict. 9.3% unemployment, worse than the Great Recession. You got Marcus, day 3, waiting for his answer. 195,000 versus 177. The next 24 hours will define the next 6 months. You either position yourself strategically and you start today, or you react emotionally and you start tomorrow. Federal workers, they know this. Contractors know this. Marcus, he knows this. The question is do you know this? Watch NVIDIA tonight, watch the jobs data tomorrow, and position yourself for whatever the verdict reveals, okay? Keep climbing. The view gets better at the top. The view is better when you are ready for what's coming, all right? Guys, I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Thank you so much, Big Suggs. Thank you so much, Wayne Yu. Thank you so much, Prescott. Darkman Jeff, get to see you, my man. Chosen One, get to see you. Topaz, get to see you. Andrew Oliver, get to see you. NC Worker, get to see you. Life of Cam, get to see you. Go and enjoy your time in Thailand. I appreciate you guys. Guys, go and crush your Wednesday. And we will see you guys back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central. Bye-bye now.